Unit 1. So what we're going to do here, we're going to create a project, call it AP Computer Science, and then we're going to make a package for Unit 1, and then we're going to work inside that package. And then, of course, we're going to make another package when we get on to Unit 2, and we're going to make one for Unit 3, and we're going to work all the way up to Unit 10. So let's just begin by creating a project. So make sure you have your Eclipse open, and then we're going to make a new project, Java project. Okay, when you get to this splash screen here, just make sure we are using version 8, 1.8. And then the project name is going to be AP, all caps, Computer Science. And we're going to click Finish. We should have AP Computer Science. It's right over here in my Project Explorer here. And what I'm going to do now is inside the SRC, the source code folder, I'm going to create a package. So now to make a package, I can either use the nice little brown box here, like it's a package, like a gift, or I could say File, New, and Package right here. So either which one you go, File, New, Package, or you hit that little brown box. And you can see the brown box here again, right next to Package. So when you create a package, the next splash screen comes up, it asks you to name it. The packages, we're going to call them Unit 1, Unit 2, and so on. Since we're in Unit 1, we're going to make one called Unit 1, all lowercase, Unit 1. So we're going to finish. If you look over here now, you'll see the package Unit 1 right beneath the source code. And that's where we're going to start writing our code for Unit 1. So everything that is entailed in Unit 1 would be inside this package. So here we're going to make a new class. You could either choose to hit that C here for a new class, or you could go File, New, Class. And we're going to call this Unit 1, but look how I'm spelling it, Unit, O-N-E. So we're going to keep using this type of setup. So when we get to Unit 2, we'll got Unit 2 here, and we're going to do Unit TW. Now, inside of Unit 1 class, we're going to make the main method. So I'm checking this because I don't want to type this. So hit Finish, and then we're ready to go. So I'm going to line these up nicely, get rid of this little stub. And now I have my Unit 1 ready to go. The first part of Unit 1 we're going to do inside the main. Actually, we're going to do everything inside the main method. The main method, remember from intro, main method is the only one we need. The only method needed to create an app. Okay. Now, obviously, no app is created with just the main, but the main is the only one we actually need, and we should remember that from intro. So the first thing we're going to do now is Unit 1.1. So this is Unit 1, Section 1. Unit 1, Section 1 is all about printing. It's about printing string literal to the console. These are comments. So this is not actually any code right now, and you should remember that as well. I'm going to go ahead and print a string literal. Now, what is a literal? A literal is saying it's literally what you see, what you get. So a string is just a sequence of characters. It doesn't have to be letters only. It could be letters and numbers, or even funny weird characters like exclamations and stuff like that. So once we have a string literal, it's going to be inside of quotes. So now I'm going to use this print, and the print a string literal inside of a quotes. I'm going to say AP Computer Science. Now, that's the first type of print. Print. We're going to print AP Computer Science to the console if we run this. So I'm going to click my button right here to run. And once I run, you could see AP Computer Science in my console. This print, though, would print AP Computer Science and leave the cursor blinking right here. because it prints and it leaves the cursor right after the last character in the string literal. Now I'm going to do another print, system.out.print ln, and I'm going to print the same AP Computer Science again. This time, this print with ln for new line suggests that you should print AP Computer Science and then the cursor goes to the bottom. Now, a lot of people would look at this and make a big mistake. If I run this, these two AP Computer Science are going to be on the first line. Why? Because when this is finished printing, it leaves the cursor here. Then this guy prints, which is going to print AP Computer Science right here. And then the cursor is going to drop down. So this new line happens after the print. So I'm going to run that. So let me run it. See? No space even, because I didn't have a space between them. So they're all jumbled here. But after this one prints, the cursor is now going to be down here. The cursor is going to be down here. I know it's not visible for you to see this, but after it's printed, this new line, little ln here, suggests to drop it down. Now, if something else comes underneath here to be printed, it would start off on the next line. So that's pretty much what Unit 1.1 is all about. And we have some examples. So let's do an example. Example 1, like a question, if you were to get a question. And what you want to do is draw the console output. I'm going to write a couple of statements. Okay, so I'm going to do some printing. First thing I'm going to print is I'm going to print hello. And then I'm going to print no new line, world, and then I'm going to print look at me, an exclamation. Like I said, anything could be inside the string, numbers, weird looking characters. So now we have this hello world, look at me, and it's printed in ln for the first, no ln, and then ln. So the question is, how does this look after you run this code? Where would this show up? We know these two are going to be on the same line and the cursor drops. Hello is going to print on the next line, then the cursor is going to drop. World is going to print on the next line. The cursor is not going to drop. Look at me is going to be printed right after world. Let's run it and take a look. Right here. AP Computer Science, no space, we didn't have a space. It drops after, gets to down here, print hello. Hello is printed. Then we print world on the next line, because ln says print hello, then drop the cursor. The world said don't drop the cursor, so the cursor stays right here. Look at me prints, even though it has ln here, the ln is after, so the cursor is going to drop down here after. So right now the cursor is blinking right beneath here. And that's the first example. We're going to do another example. Example 2. Draw the console output. I'm going to write a couple of print statements again. So I'm going to write system.out.print. I'm going to print the number 1. Now the number 1 is a string. Okay, even though it's a number 1, it's a number 1 as a string. Then I'm going to print \n, and I'm going to print more time. Okay, and then I'm going to do some more printing. I'm going to print I am a good boy. And then I'm going to print two quotes right here. And then I'm going to print two backslash n's, and then I'm going to print 10, and then I'm going to print false. Well, that's a lot going on here. It's a lot going on. And then I'm going to do a print without anything. Well, let's take a look at this. This print that does not have anything to be printed, it's fine. This just says drop the cursor down after this is finished. But if I were to take the ln off, it shows an error. This little red line here. Yeah, because once you're doing print without ln, you must tell it what to print. But if you're doing ln, you do not have to tell it what to print because new line is what it's doing. And then let's do another print. I say, I am a good girl. Now, I'm going to print again. And this time I'm going to print without the ln, 9 plus a space. So I'm doing a bunch of printing here, and then I'm going to print again without the ln, true. And then I'm going to print again, double slashes. So what would this look like when I run it? That's the question here. So let's just take a look. What would this finally look like? So this thing says print a 1 plus a slash n more time. Backslash n is new line. So it has a new line and a new line. So that's two new lines. ln, new line again, two new lines, three new lines. What about this? What about this? Backslash is called an escape character. This escape character, in conjunction with some letters, has some kind of command. So for example, backslash n is to go to a new line. There could be a backslash t. That is to tab over ones. So this now has three new lines, including this one, and a tab. Escape without the N or the T suggests to print what's coming after. So if I wanted to print a quote, I have to do an escape on the quote to print the quote, which is kind of weird because we need quotes to start and stop for strings. So if we wanted to print the quote, and the quote is needed for the string literal, the only way to print the quote is to backspace it, so escape the quote. So right down here we have that same situation. So let's run it and see what it looks like. Yep, exactly what we thought. So let's take a look. We have the AP Computer Science like we thought, right next to each other. Hello is on a new line because this thing says drop to a new line. World, right? No new line. So look at me was there. Look where the 1 started on the next line because this ln from the example 1 dropped me down here. So 1 print. More time. See, the slash n doesn't print. What it does is it drop me down and prints more time. 1 more time. And I am a good boy, prints on this line as well because there's a new line here and a new line there. So I'm definitely on a new line. But look what happens here. I print the quote, the last quote, right? I escaped so I could print the quote. Then 10 and false. All different types of variables are in here. This is a Boolean type. It's an integer. But still, once you put a plus, this is called concatenating. Concatenating is taking a string, adding a string. It's not adding like in math. It's just taking the two strings and putting them together. So I have, if you have a type that's not a string, it turns into a string. So this is a string with some kind of escape character. This is a new line stuff and tab. This is an integer, but because it's added to a string, it turns into a string. Same here. And the new line prints, and then so 10 and false, no space between them, so we have that there. And then I'm a good girl prints, then 9 true. Look what, you see that backslash. I escape the backslash so I get to print the backslash. Because remember, these are kind of weird, right? If quotes are needed for string and backslash are needed for these tabs and stuff, how do you print the backslash? Well, you have to escape the escape, okay? Or you escape the where is it? I'm looking for it right here. Escape the quotes. You can print a quote. So those are some tricky little things there. So those are mainly the two that you want to look at: how to print a backslash, how to print a quote. You just escape it, and pretty much that's 1.1.